All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be looking at solving systems by elimination. Now, elimination is a little bit more difficult for students to complete. Got a bunch of negatives going on. Now, what we want to remember is we want two things. We want same digit, opposite sign. And if we have that, then we are able to perform our elimination method. So if you notice here, I do not have the same digit or opposite sign at all, but I ask myself, what can I change? Meaning the the x's, I have a 6 and 3, which means they can both become a 6. My y's, I have a 1 and a 2, they can both become a 2. So it's really just personal choice on this one because everything's positive, looks to be about the same. And if I go with the x's again, we said we want a 6. So it means the bottom equation is going to change. And I'm going to multiply by 2 because 2 times 3 is 6. But I also want opposite signs, which means I have a positive 6x. So that means I'm going to need a negative 6x. So the bottom equation is going to multiply by negative 2. So first equation stays the same. Second equation is now changed. Now if you notice, my x's, same digit, opposite sign, which means they eliminate. So it means I'm able to ignore the x's and focus on the y's. I've got a 1y and a negative 4y, which gives me a negative 3y. Negative 3y and negative 12, divide, y is 4. So now that I have my first answer, because remember I need an x and a y, I need to look at my equations. I look at my original equations and I decide first or second which one's easier. Now usually we avoid the ones that have a bunch of negatives, but if you notice they're all positives, so it really doesn't matter. Some students may say, but I think the first equation's easier because they notice that y is just 4, so they can say, hey, 6x plus 4. So in other words, they're going to subtract 4 from both sides. 6x is 2. Divide. So it means x is 1/3. Now remember, your answer is ordered pair. Good to go. We want same digit, opposite sign. Now if you notice here, my x's, I need to ask myself, what can they both become? They can both become a 12. My y's, they can both become a 2. So what's easier, a 12 or a 2? Now on the 12, you'd have to change both equations, but to get a 2y, you only have to change the bottom equation because the top equation is negative 2y. But remember, I want opposite signs, so it means I want my bottom equation to really become a positive 2y. And if I multiply by negative 2, when I do my distributive property, I will end up getting a positive 2y. Remember, if I'm going a little too quick, you just pause it, back it up, see what you got going on. Now, I am able to use my elimination method. My y's eliminate. I combine my x's. 4x and negative 6x is a negative 2x. And then the integers, negative 14. So that means x has to be 7. I look at the two original equations and I decide which one looks easier. They both have the same amount of negatives. It really doesn't matter. Let's say the first one. So x is 7. Remember, it's a two-step equation now. Subtract 28. This is why I think solving equations is probably the most important skill that we can have you learn and remember before moving on to high school. Because you're going to use it so many times. All right, looking at this one here. Hey, I got opposite signs. That's good. Looking at my digits. X's, 4 and 3 can become 12. Y's, 5 and 2 can become 10. So 10 is definitely better than 12, and they're already opposite signs. So I'm going to say let's eliminate the y's. But this time, if you notice, I have to change both equations because I want a 10. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply the top equation by 2 and the bottom equation by 5. That will give me my 10y. My signs will be opposite, so that means I am able to use my elimination method. So my y's eliminate. I have 23x is equal to negative 69. Divide, x is negative 3. Now I need to go back again and decide which one's easier. If you notice, they both have the same amount of negatives, so it really just becomes personal choice. I'm going to say the bottom one. X is negative 3, so go ahead and substitute. And again, we're solving a two-step equation. Negative 15 plus 9 is negative 6. Divide. Y is negative 3. Hey, they're the exact same values, so negative 3, negative 3. Very nice. All right, so for this one, it is leading us into our word problems. We could have apples and bananas or something like that. So looking at the A's, I've got 2 and 5 is a 10, 3 and 4 is a 12. Now normally a 10 would be better than a 12, but if you notice, the B's are already opposite. So maybe we want to go ahead and choose that. Because opposite signs are always nice, because we want same digit, opposite sign. I get a 12 when I multiply. All right, B's eliminate. 23a equals 161. Divide. A is 7. Again, personal choice. Now, if you notice, equation 1 has only positive, so maybe we want to go ahead and focus there. So a is 7. 2 times 7. Looking good. What? Same value again. Very nice, very nice. All right, before I leave you, want to go ahead and just remind you that sometimes you might have to multiply by a -1. Checking to see if we have that on this one here. Doesn't look like it. Because when you multiply by -1, it is actually pretty nice for us. But again, we want same digit, opposite sign, practicing your elimination method, getting ready for the word problems. All right, go ahead and be awesome.